42.
Action 11 News, next on WHAS TV.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Pfeiffer at 6:30 on this Monday, November 27th, 53 warm degrees under cloudy skies. In the news this morning, a pet dog saves an Okolona family from their burning home early today. State investigators say as many as 48,000 people were buried in used graves in 2 Louisville cemeteries. Intertrack wagering draws 2,000 to Churchill Downs, and U of L trounces Villanova for 3rd place in the Maui Classic. Look for a mild day ahead, chance of some showers. Cold weather isn't far behind. Ken Schultz back in the weather lab this morning. Good morning, Ken. Welcome back from your long weekend.
Well, thank you. I could grow accustomed to taking those long weekends.
I can imagine.
Well, we do have quite a change coming up in our weather. Of course, we started to warm up over the weekend. We're going to kind of reach our peak in our warming trend today, and then it's back to the harsh realities of winter coming up for the middle of this week. Let's start off this morning. Take a look at the Action Track Color Radar from the National Weather Service. A few sprinkles of rain to our north up around Indianapolis to the east of Columbus, Indiana. Very light precipitation there, but you notice a line of showers to our southwest stretching over parts of Ohio, Grayson, and Hart counties of Kentucky. That activity is moving to the north and could be a factor here in Louisville in the next 2 hours. We will have a chance for a few showers here this morning, and the possibility of some thunderstorms coming up this afternoon. We're talking about some very mild weather today. In fact, near record high temperatures. Record for today is 72, set back in 1927, and we're going to be close to that mark later on this afternoon. We're starting off mild. To our north, the warm air hasn't arrived yet. 45 degrees at Indianapolis. It's 41 degrees over towards Ashland, Kentucky. But as you travel to the southwest, look at Paducah's temperature already, 62 degrees. Here in Louisville, we have cloudy skies, and it is a mild morning. The temperature is 53 degrees. The relative humidity is 93%. Wind southeast at 8. The pressure is falling at 29.89. We hit 60 yesterday. We had a low temperature last night before midnight of 48, and yesterday morning early, we had 400ths of an inch of rain. Now, we're starting off with a chance of showers this morning. This afternoon, we're going to be in some very mild air out ahead of a very strong cold front, so a pretty good chance for thunderstorms late this afternoon and early tonight. You can see the temperature range in Kentuckiana, upper 60s to low 70s. South wind 20 to 30 miles per hour. There is a lake wind advisory in effect for western Kentucky because of those strong gusty winds today. Once that front passes through later tonight, cold air sets in. So our forecast in detail for today will be mostly cloudy, windy, and warm. We'll have scattered showers this morning. Chance for thunderstorms this afternoon. The high 70 for tonight. Evening thunderstorms, about a 60% chance for those. After the front moves through, the thunderstorms end, and it will be turning colder. Low tonight, 38 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, and cold. Possibility for a few snow flurries. That high tomorrow will likely be early in the day, with temperatures steady or slowly falling for the balance of the day. So again, if you're a mild weather lover, today is your day.
Okay, Ken, I haven't seen you since last Wednesday. Have a nice holiday.
I had a very nice one, and I hope you had the same.
Same here.
Of course, it sounds so tacky to say, no, I had a really lousy one, you know, but that was very nice, and now looking forward to Christmas shopping.
All right. Good for you. Talk to you later, Ken.
All right.
Let's get a first check on traffic this Monday morning. Back to work and school. Officer Gary Fields has the Metro Scan report. Good morning, Gary.
Hey, good morning, Mark, and good morning to you at home. This is what to expect on your first day back into work from the Thanksgiving holiday. The only problems you're going to find this morning, road construction might cause you a problem this morning. Poplar Road at the Waterston Expressway, they've experienced some lane changes on Poplar Road. Northbound traffic, you'll have to pay attention to the road signs. The right lane is for the entrance ramp, and the left-hand lane is for northbound Poplar Road. Southbound traffic this morning will have to use the entrance ramp on the eastbound side to enter the Waterston Expressway. You won't be able to use the Gardner Lane entrance ramp as there's a barrier wall there. And you'll find a little problem northbound on the Clark Memorial Bridge. A tractor-trailer is stalled over in the right-hand lane. Other than that, the things look good on our interstate systems this morning. No problems on I-71. 64, the Waterston Expressway looks good. Everything looks good inbound from out in the Jefferson County area into towards town. And the only other problem you've got, again, was that problem on the bridge if you're heading northbound over into Clarksville. For the first look at the Metro Scan traffic, I'm Officer Gary Fields of the Jefferson County Police.
Thanks, Gary. Still to come, the top news of the day. It's 26 before the hour.
This custom kitchen design costs the homeowner about $15,000, but it's less durable and no less attractive than this Cabinetpak kitchen costing only about $5,000. Cabinetpak covers the solid frames of your cabinets with durable Formica laminate, installs your new custom-built doors and drawer fronts, quality hardware, and new countertops. It takes only days and costs less than you'd think.
And now for a limited time, you can save an additional 20%. Give me a call at 636-0333 or call our new toll-free number.
Now it's easier than ever to win $100 playing championship sports trivia. You only have to answer 5, not 6 sports questions, because we're giving you the answer to today's first question. Call 1-900-990-WINS anytime from a touch-tone phone to play and win. And watch WHAS TV Daily for the answer to the first question each day.
Christmas in the City is a month-long holiday celebration in downtown Louisville. It's daily entertainment and holiday sights. It's free weekend events like ice skating, a Christmas children's parade, and a family New Year's Eve celebration. It all starts Friday, November 24th with Light Up Louisville and Dickens on Main Street. Christmas in the City, downtown, November 24th through December 31st. For more information, call Louisville Central Area.
The night brings a different kind of ambience. The difference at night. Action 11 News Night Team on WHAS TV.
23 minutes until 7. In the news this morning, a pet dog is being credited with saving an Okolona family early today in a fire that destroyed their home. The fire broke out around 2:30 this morning in the home at 1233 Old Fern Valley Road. Firefighters say the smoke detector didn't work in the house, but the family dog did.
It's our understanding that the dog found the fire, started barking, and woke up the family. It's kind of unfortunate in that they had a smoke detector, but the battery was not in it. Had the battery been working, the fire may not have been as extensive as it was.
There were no serious injuries reported. The Red Cross is helping the burned-out family. Firefighters believe the fire may have started in a faulty stove in the kitchen. The cause is under investigation. Firefighters still on the scene of a house fire in Charlestown, Indiana early this morning. The blaze broke out shortly before 3 a.m. in a two-story home on Route 403 between Charlestown and Sellersburg. Everyone inside got out safely. The cause of that fire has not been found. Donations of food and clothing are pouring into a West Louisville church. The money will help several families burned out of their homes in an apartment fire Thanksgiving Day. Action 11's Susan Sweeney reports.
Everything. My kids' clothes, my clothes, furniture, everything. And I had just started out myself.
The fire Thanksgiving morning gutted most of the apartments in this 10th Street building. 4 families, including 6 children, were left homeless, and they escaped with only the clothes on their backs. There was help for the families burned out of their homes from the Cornerstone Missionary Baptist Church.
I found some nice things for my kids, pants and coats and stuff.
Things, do you think you would have been able to get any help this fast from any place else?
No, I really don't.
The collection was organized right after the fire by one of Ford's neighbors from the apartment building next door. Joseph Counts began with an appeal for help from his own fellow church members, but word quickly spread and the response was overwhelming.
The help that they gave us was tremendous. We still have people coming over from different churches, and they couldn't donate today, but later during the week they're going to bring things by my apartment for me to give to them. So it was really nice. We had some contributions made of money, which I divided up, gave it to them, and they're grateful for that.
Bags and racks of clothing, coats and shoes fill an extra room at the church, but Count says there's always room for more and donations are still being accepted. Susan Sweeney, Action 11 News.
An employee of McDonald's on East Market Street was treated for minor head injuries last night after Louisville police say an armed robber hit her in the head with a MAC-10 machine pistol. The attack happened while 2 men held up the restaurant and fled with an undetermined amount of cash. In the back of the building, near the interstate, police discovered a red mask and a black satchel used by one of the men in the robbery. Police say witnesses told them the other suspect was carrying a .38 Special. No one else was hurt. No shots were fired. The men escaped in a black Chevrolet. State investigators have discovered that the Eastern and Greenwood cemeteries in Louisville may have buried as many as 48,000 people in used graves. Archaeologist Phil de Blasi says some graves in the two cemeteries have been found to contain the remains of as many as 6 people. Cemetery employees told investigators that in a section of Eastern Cemetery, about 70 infants' bodies were buried only 10 to 18 inches deep in an effort to avoid bones from previous burials. The investigation so far indicates that graves were being reused as early as the mid-1920s in Eastern Cemetery. 3 former cemetery officials have been indicted for the alleged burial practices. The mercury could reach 70 degrees or higher today. Ken Schultz returns in a moment with details in his forecast, coming up on 19 before the hour.
Statistics show that the holidays are as hard on furniture as they are on people. That's why Crossroads is celebrating its after Thanksgiving sale, where you'll save 1/3 to 1/2 on quality new furniture. After all, it isn't just people that get worn out over the holidays. Crossroads Furniture after Thanksgiving 1/3 to 1/2 off sale. Ends Monday.
Tomorrow's typewriter today. A typewriter, a word processor, a computer. IBM's personal typing system from Doherty Office Equipment. Call me, Hank Doherty, 491-9938.
When you look for the road to comprehensive news coverage.
In Knott County, I'm Mark Hebert, Action 11 News. Chuck Olmsted for the 5:30 Action 11 News. Carol.
In Indianapolis, Susan Sweeney for the 5:30 Action 11 News.
In Madison, Sam Wyatt, Action 11 News.
In Bullitt County, Adina Chumley.
In Galena. Live from 1st Street in Owensboro via SATCAM.
There's only one news team that covers the map. Action 11 News on WHAS TV, the mark of a leader.
We're closing, Felicia.
Okay.
So, you training for the big fight?
What fight?
The Durant Leonard rematch. We're giving away round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and ringside seats to see it in Las Vegas.
No, I'm training for the $1,000 shopping spree of bacon we're giving away. It's shocked till you drop, Jeff.
Well, I can't wait to see Leonard with a quick left-right combination.
Wait till you see Bacon's sweater-skirt combination.
We're closed.
PM Magazine's Great Knockout Contest tonight on WHAS TV.
18 before the hour, warm day ahead, but we're in for some changes after the day. Good morning, Ken.
Morning, Mark. Could be an unsettled day, too. We'll start off this time around taking a look at the national radar picture, and around our part of the country, it's a relatively quiet morning, although we do have showers developing around the region. We have showers as close to us as Hart County this morning. They're moving to the north and could be a factor here in downtown Louisville by 9 o'clock. To our west, though, a developing storm system, a winter storm system, already putting down snow in parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas this morning. Out ahead of that developing low, some very strong gusty southerly winds will be developing, already sparking some showers in parts of Iowa and Minnesota, as well as the showers here in Kentuckiana. Behind that low pressure system, cold northerly winds bringing in the very cold, unseasonably cold air into the Dakotas and producing that snow. Now, as that low pressure system intensifies and travels to the east and runs into this warm and increasingly more humid air, there will be a risk of some thunderstorms and even a slight chance for some severe thunderstorms from, well, Indiana and Ohio all the way down to the Gulf Coast. That includes just about all of Kentuckiana. Even if we don't have any severe weather, there will be a risk of some heavy thunderstorms in the area later on this afternoon and this evening with gusty winds and heavy rain. So we'll have to watch that, monitor that situation later on today. Right now in Louisville, though, we're starting off with tranquil conditions. It is cloudy, it is mild, and our temperature is 53 degrees. The humidity, 93%. We have a southeast wind at 8 miles per hour, and our pressure is falling at 29.89. That southeast wind at 8 will be increasing today. In fact, there's a lake wind advisory for western Kentucky this afternoon because of the possibility of winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. So we have kind of a blustery, balmy day today. What about tomorrow? Well, a cold front, and it is a strong one, will be pushing to the east coast. And out ahead of it will be all the rain. Behind it, some much colder air. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds tomorrow. Possibility even of a few snow flurries in the region. And again, the thing tomorrow will be much colder air. Now let's take a look at that forecast in detail for today. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. It'll be windy and warm. There's a chance for a morning shower and a 40% chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, high around 70. For tonight, a 60% chance of evening thunderstorms. And the cold front moves through. The showers and storms end. It'll be breezy and colder by this time tomorrow morning with our low around 38. And then for the day tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy, windy, cold, chance for a few snow flurries. That high tomorrow of 40 will likely be very early in the day. Temperatures will be steady or slowly falling afterwards. And the sneak preview for Wednesday, Mark, will be for mostly sunny skies and temperatures struggling to get above freezing. I think a high about 35 degrees on Wednesday.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
All right.
15 before the hour, we'll be back in just a moment with a look at last night's Maui Classic action between the University of Louisville and Villanova.
The early morning Action 11 weather and Metroscan traffic report is sponsored by Jim O'Neill Ford, your best bottom line dealer.
Jim O'Neill Ford, the best bottom line dealer, says stop. Before you sign that so-called unbelievable deal, check our bottom line. Don't be misled when you purchase a new vehicle. All of these things influence the bottom line in the purchase of a new car. Because of our bottom line, you've seen this name on over 60,000 cars and trucks. Call the Bottom Line hotline at 246-4441 and let our people show you who's really got the best bottom line. That's Jim O'Neill Ford, your best bottom line dealer.
Working on your space? From sofas and recliners to appliances and electronics, Smith's has it all. It's Zenith Week at Smith's. Zenith 19-inch color TV, now only $197. Zenith Deluxe 19-inch color TV with remote control, only $277. Zenith Big 25-inch remote control color TV, now only $397. Get fantastic savings now at Smith's.
Who?
Smith's Furniture and Appliances. That's who.
AAA Kentucky Travel Agency presents Hawaii. On January 6th, PM Magazine is leaving for an incredible 7-day cruise in the Hawaiian Islands aboard the fabulous SS Independence. They'd like you to join them and watch the taping of segments for upcoming editions of PM Magazine. Your cruise package includes round-trip airfare, fantastic shipboard amenities, and more. Call AAA Kentucky Travel Agency now and reserve your place on this extraordinary cruise. AAA Kentucky Travel Agency. We sell the world.
It's Christmas at the Louisville Galleria. There are places to look, to smell, to give, and be surprised. Things to wear and moments to share. Music to hear, friends that are near. Places to see, for having some fun, to thoroughly enjoy. It's Christmas time at the Louisville Galleria in downtown Louisville.
It's 12 before the hour. In world and national news, 3 more communist hardliners in Czechoslovakia have been drummed out of the Politburo as the government scrambles to hang on to power. The mass rallies continued through the weekend, and protesters plan to keep up the reform pressure today with a 2-hour general strike. Look for a push for more democracy in the Soviet Union next month. Dissident members of the Soviet Congress met in Moscow yesterday, and an observer who attended the session says they've decided to challenge the Communist Party's monopoly on power. The urge to speak out is spreading into the ranks of the Soviet Army. About 200 soldiers picketed in Moscow yesterday, demanding an end to what they say is violence, cruelty, and corruption in the Army. There was a showing of solidarity between a group of blacks and whites in South Africa this weekend. About 1,000 whites marched into a black township on Saturday in an unprecedented demonstration for peace. The marchers were greeted by tens of thousands of blacks who supported their efforts. The organizer of the march says he wanted everyone to know not all whites support apartheid, and they'd like to see a new non-racial society. A report due out today on AIDS blames public complacency for a spread of the disease to young people and women. The report by the New York-based Citizens Commission on AIDS says education programs have helped stop the spread of the disease among homosexuals, but says not enough's being done to warn adolescents. Friday has been declared World AIDS Day. Housing Secretary Jack Kemp due to address the nation's mayors tomorrow in Atlanta. The mayors, holding their National League of Cities conference, are calling for more federal help in the war on drugs. And clear skies and acceptable winds are predicted for Edwards Air Force Base today in California, this afternoon for the rescheduled landing of the Space Shuttle Discovery. The crew got a wave off last night because of blustery winds that could have made the scheduled night landing too tricky. In sports, the Cardinals closed out their stay in Hawaii last night when they took on the Wildcats of Villanova in the Maui Classic, 3rd place in the tournament on the line. In first half action, Everett Sullivan's shot is off the mark, Felton Spencer follows up to put the Cards up by 11. This time Cornelius Holden hits Tony Kimbrough, who sinks the 15-footer with a hand in his face. The Cards with good ball movement most of the night. LeBradford Smith to Jerome Harmon here. The Cards led at the half by 17, 39-23. In the second half, the Cardinals started pouring it on. You see Jerome Harmon going up to the hoop. It takes a while for the ball to go in, but it finally does. Harmon scored 21 points in the victory. But after Louisville went up by 20, Villanova fought back. They trimmed the Louisville lead down to 8 points. But the Cardinals regrouped to pick up the 14-point win. Nice passing here. Tony Kimbrough ends up with a hoop. 5 players in double figures on the night, including Kimbrough. In the other consolation game in the Maui Classic, San Diego State beat Chaminade 63-49. And Western Kentucky ends up in 7th place in the San Juan tournament with a 110-76 win over American College. A new era began yesterday at Churchill Downs. Action 11's Gary Fogel reports on the first day of inter-track wagering.
This is the first time Churchill has offered ITW. Previously, Louisville Downs had carried it here in Louisville, basically because management at Churchill had been opposed to the idea.
We're diluting the wagering dollar in Kentucky, and you exacerbate that with the lottery, and pretty soon you find people not attending the races.
I think racing became successful in this country because it was a seasonal business. The fall meet at Churchill Downs is a big success because you have to come out in November because there's not going to be racing until April. But when it's there every day, people don't go and they get tired.
Meeker and Lawrence's comments may certainly be valid. During Churchill's fall meet, which just concluded, statistical comparisons to last year's fall meet show that weekday attendance was down 11%. And weekend attendance down just 1%.
You don't have to leave and travel. It's convenient to you, basically, is why I like it.
I've been wanting someplace to come where I could wager on horses other than just in the spring and in the fall. And I think it's great for good recreation for everybody.
Gary Fogel, Action 11 Sports.
We're at 8 minutes before the hour. Officer Gary Fields keeping watch on traffic this morning. Gary, how's it shaping up on the roadways out there?
Well, Mark, the only new developments we have right now is that City Police have started over to the intersection of 7th and Hill on reports of a non-entry accident. Our interstate systems all seem to be going smooth this morning. The only other problem, again, I want to remind you about is there's a stalled tractor-trailer northbound 2nd Street Bridge, Clark Memorial Bridge. City Police are there trying to help the driver now remove that problem. And other than that, things seem to really be moving smoothly throughout the metropolitan area. No problems coming over from southern Indiana, so let's hope we'll have an accident-free day. For the Metro Scan Traffic, I'm Officer Gary Fields of the Jefferson County Police.
Thanks, Gary. You have a good day. A recap of the morning's news and weather when we come back. It's 7 before the hour.
One 1-800-LOAN-YES? What's that?
The Money Store's local toll-free number.
1-800-LOAN-YES?
That's the number to call for second mortgage loans.
I can remember that.
Don't forget, fixed rates.
That's right. The rate stays the same for the life of the loan. Qualified homeowners can get quick approval right over the phone. Borrow up to $100,000 or more. Call the Money Store toll-free. Dial 1-800-LOAN-YES.
If you're about to make a deal on a Ford truck, brace up. For a limited time only, get a free bed liner with your new Chevy truck from your Kentuckiana Chevy dealer. You heard right. Pick out any S10 or full-size pickup in stock, and we'll give you a bed liner absolutely free. But wait, up to $1,000 cash back means you can own a brand new S10 from just $73.95. Plus, get a brand new bed liner free. But hurry, it all ends November 30th. See your Kentuckiana Chevy dealer today, including Herb Jones in Elizabethtown, Tom Laker in Radcliffe, Haynes in Hardinsburg, Wheatley in Brandenburg.
Enjoy the beauty and charm of Old Louisville's Victorian Yuletide. The Red Tie Preview Party on December 1st. Christmas in Central Park with a visit from Santa on December 2nd. And house tours on December 2nd and 3rd will provide a modern-day picture of Christmas during an era of gala festivities, elegant cuisine, and delightful celebrations. Take a new look at Old Louisville and support the WHAS Crusade for Children. Call 635-5244 for information.
What does it take to be a winner out here? Dedication. Going as hard as you can go, as far as you can go, every time out. It's the willingness to keep on working long after the others have left the field. Making the most out of every opportunity. It's never settling for anything less than your very best. And it's living by one simple rule. Always improve. Dedication. It's the mark of a winner.
Melissa Swan and the Action 11 News Team on WHAS TV, the mark of a leader. The early morning Action 11 News is sponsored by Dr. Richard Levin, specializing exclusively in the treatment of infertility.
It's now 5 minutes until 7. In the news this morning, state investigators have discovered that the Eastern and Greenwood cemeteries in Louisville may have buried as many as 48,000 people in used graves. Archaeologist Phil de Blasi says some graves in the two cemeteries have been found to contain the remains of as many as 6 people. Cemetery employees told investigators that in a section of Eastern Cemetery, about 70 infants' bodies were buried only 10 to 18 inches deep in an attempt to avoid bones from previous burials. The investigation so far indicates that graves were being reused as early as the mid-1920s. 3 former cemetery officials have been indicted for the alleged burial practices. A pet dog is being credited with saving an Oklahoma family early today in a fire that destroyed their home. The fire broke out around 2:30 this morning in the home at 1233 Old Fern Valley Road. Firefighters say the smoke detector didn't work in the house, but the family dog did.
It's our understanding that the dog found the fire, started barking, and woke up the family. It's kind of unfortunate in that they had a smoke detector, but the battery was not in it. Had the battery been working, the fire may not have been as extensive as it was.
No serious injuries reported. The Red Cross helping out the burned-out family. Firefighters believe the fire may have started in a faulty stove in the kitchen. The cause is under investigation. An employee of McDonald's on East Market Street was treated for minor head injuries last night after Louisville police say an armed robber hit her in the head with a MAC-10 automatic pistol. The attack happened while 2 men held up the restaurant and fled with an undetermined amount of cash. In the back of the building near the interstate, police discovered a red mask and a black satchel used by one of the men in the robbery. Police say witnesses told them the other suspect was carrying a .38 Special. No one else was hurt. No shots were fired. The men escaped in a black Chevrolet. Finally this morning, matinee performances of Hansel and Gretel drew dozens of youngsters to the Stage 1 Theater downtown yesterday. The Louisville Children's Theater production of the fairy tale lacked the frightening details of the original Brothers Grimm version, but the children gathered around the stage didn't seem to miss it. Stage 1 has adapted the story as a participation play for the kids who sit within inches of the stage. Performances continue at the Museum of History and Science through December 23rd. And we have some stormy weather headed our way. Ken Schultz keeping a watch on that.
Well, we have some showers headed our way this morning. Showers moving into LaRue County, Hardin, Breckenridge counties this morning. We'll be arriving here in Louisville within the next hour or two. By mid-morning, we'll see some showers passing through. But there will be a chance for somewhat heavier shower and thunderstorm activity later on today and early tonight. Let's take a look at that forecast in detail. It'll be mostly cloudy, windy today. South winds 20 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Showers this morning, chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, 70 the high temperature. Chance for thunderstorms this evening out ahead of a cold front that will be passing through. And once that happens, the showers and storms end. And by this time tomorrow morning, our temperature will be about 38. Tomorrow, we'll have partly cloudy skies, possibility of snow flurries, windy, cold. High tomorrow 40. That'll be early in the day. It'll be colder tomorrow afternoon.
And you'll be tracking
I'll do
that changing weather as it moves in.
So easy for you to say.
All right. I'll be back at 7:25. Join us then. Make it a good day.
Infertility. 1 in every 6 to 7 couples suffers from infertility. Infertility equally affects both men and women. Most causes can now be diagnosed, and the majority of people can be successfully treated with modern infertility techniques.
We couldn't be happier, and we certainly appreciate your role in his birth.
Without you, she was not possible.
Dr. Richard Levin, specializing exclusively in the treatment of infertility.
What's the big deal about Ford Truck Month? Just that, big deals. Announcing Ford Ranger's biggest option package discount ever, over $2,200. Available only in this area for a limited time. You get air conditioning, AM/FM stereo with cassette, sliding rear window, and lots more. But the deal gets even bigger with $1,000 cash back. Total savings, over $3,200. There's never been a better time to buy a Ford truck. Where quality is standard, your participating Ford dealer.
Action 11 News at 6 on WHAS TV, the mark of a leader.